You were going to, I think, ask something as well, or? I talk a lot, but I do like it when people sort of come back as well. I have a bad habit of like going on and on, but do you have any question at all, or is there anything about Islam that you've perhaps seen or witnessed or heard that maybe, you thought, well, is this part of their religion, or what's going on there? Is there anything like that perhaps that you've discovered or seen? You must have seen a lot of things, come on.
Can you explain the women being covered?
So in Islam, in the Quran, Allah says, tell the believing man to lower his gaze. So the first hijab or veil is placed on the man. Don't feast your eyes on women. And as a man, you know when a man is looking at a woman, automatically, some of the things that are perhaps going through his head, not necessarily very respectful. In fact, many of our thoughts, we would struggle to tell our mothers or our sisters or our daughters or our wives, because that's the nature of man. That's how we're wired, okay? So the first hijab, the first a sense of modesty is placed upon the man. And Allah links believing. In other words, if you are a true believer, lower your gaze. Don't gawp, don't stare, don't feast your eyes and think things that are inappropriate, basically. And tell the believing woman to dress modestly. So there's a responsibility placed upon both. Now, throughout all of human history, you find that women actually covered their hair. If you watch a video of England, even if a person was not particularly religious, they'd always have a scarf. That was just seen as modesty. It was seen as a modest way. It was the norm throughout all of human history. It's actually a very modern phenomena which has become fashionable because of, pop culture and media and everything else, where actually now it's seen perfectly modest not to have your hair covered, and perhaps even dress in clothes that perhaps most of us wouldn't want our daughters to dress in. Let's put it that way, right? And it's seen perfectly okay. But in Islam, this responsibility is placed upon both the man and the woman. By the way, the man has modest dress as well. So he shouldn't wear very figure-hugging clothes. He shouldn't be showing his aura, which is from his navel to his knees. That should always remain covered, especially in public. So there are controls on both. But the woman's hair ultimately is seen as a very, let's say, it's a sign of beauty. That's why women spend many hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on hair treatments and things like, to make her hair look really, really nice, because it's a feature to attract people by. And in Islam, we say that a woman's value is not in the way she looks. It's not in her beauty, but in her taqwa, her closeness to God, and her etiquettes, her manners, her decorum, her intelligence, her capacity to reason and to do things. That is of value. The looks, the outwardly looks, are not what she should be judged by. But today, we basically have thrown that right over. A woman now is valued more on how she looks, and often can be more successful, even in the workplace, because of her beauty rather than her ability. And in Islam, we say that's wrong. It should be what's inside that matters. The substance, the very core of that individual, their values, not what's on the outside. And it's very difficult, you see, to have that as a principle and as a rule if basically the women are dressed in a way, and I'm not just talking about the hair, of course, in a way that would clearly, let's say, not encourage men to treat that person with the respect and the dignity that they should be affording them. Now, I'm not saying that a woman deserves to be disrespected if she's not dressed appropriately. I'm not saying that, because in Islam that would be forbidden, because you're told to lower your gaze. You're not supposed to be looking at her in the first place anyway. But, we have a 6-second rule, right? We are told that a person will basically judge somebody within 6 or 8 seconds. What are they basing that on? Appearance, right? And we're told, no, don't do that. Now, one of the other reasons that we're given in the Quran, that so the woman will not be harassed